Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Silver Violet Flame. This is just going to be a short review on the case of Jack O'Sullivan. Jack went missing 5 months ago in Bristol. I did a reading, it's on my YouTube list, and it looked to me that he had either gone off with someone or had been attacked and had been held against his will. So I just want to have another look because I'm quite annoyed about the way the UK media are handling this. There has been hardly any coverage about it, and there has been so much coverage about certain cases, for example the Jay Slater case, and even my American friends have been reading on him a lot, and none of them have been reading on this. And why is that? Why is that? I just don't understand. And Jay Slater has been found. So this is a tribute to the family of Jack O'Sullivan, and I just hope that I can help in any way that I can. So just going to ask the cards, the tarot cards here first, to tell us where to start. So if you could give us any information on Jack and where Jack is at the minute, please, and that would be most grateful. Thank you. Angels, guides, ancestors, all. Okay, so the Ace of Swords is at the bottom of the deck, so that tells me the truth will come out here, and communication perhaps is coming. Whether that communication will be of positive news that he's been found or otherwise, I do not know. We have the Nine of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Justice card, the Star, and the Hierophant. So right away I'm feeling that there's still hope to find Jack with this Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is about final push, pushing yourself to the brink to do something and not giving up. And the Hierophant reads with that. The Hierophant is a card of spirituality, it's a card of institution, it's a card of people gathering together to do something positive. I feel this is the family, because as far as I can see and have read, there's very little happening in regards to the police. All alleged, my opinion, not fact. This is the Page of Swords, which is read with the Star. So the Star is a card of the wish, and the Page of Swords is the card of the student. So this is working very hard to solve the problem and hoping and praying that they're going to find him so that justice can happen, which is the central card here. So what I want to do now is pull some cards on the Justice card to see if the Whispers of the Unsolved can tell us anything about this Justice card. Why the Justice card? Exposed, stalked, followed. Now this card kept coming out in the first reading, okay? Why the exposed, stalked, followed card? Why are you giving us that? Child. Well, I know he's an adult, but he's a mother's son, and it tells me that this is Jack that we're talking about here. Can you tell us anything more, please, about this child card and the followed? We've got partner, spouse, and air flight travel. Now, when I pulled earlier off camera just to get into the energy of Jack, the card that came out first was the card of travel. So I'm going to ask my little tarot deck here if Jack went off somewhere without telling anybody. I do feel that that's unlikely though, because his mother seems very adamant that that would be completely out of character for Jack to do that, but we don't really know what's going on in people's minds. So I would like to ask that question of the cards. Okay, please tell us, did Jack go off on his own or with a spouse or a partner or anyone, or even did he go off on his own? Did he go off traveling due to something maybe that was on his mind, and he just felt that he had to go away? Can you give us very clear guidance on this, please? So we have the Five of Pentacles, feeling out in the cold. Tell us more, please. Magician, you want to change. He didn't communicate this either with that Magician there. This is the card of working from the ground up on something, the Eight of Pentacles. So I'll put them all together at the end here. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about the past, the Ten of Cups is about family, and the Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment. Bottom of the deck, a heavy burden. Immediately I just have to go with what comes through to me from Spirit. And what I feel is that there was pressure on Jack regarding what it was that he was going to do with his life from his family. Not that I'm saying that the family were actually outspoken about this, but sometimes we can feel that we're letting people down and we're not vocalizing it, and it can be very something that's going on mentally with especially young people. So would it be fair to say that I'm correct here in this assumption that Jack felt that his family and his parents and expectations of others was just too much for him, and he wanted to go off and just have some alone time? Please clarify those two cards, please. There's a Page of Swords again. That's the card of the student, and as you can say, this is someone going off to learn to find themselves, basically. So that's the perfect card for what I asked. And the bottom of the deck again is another page, and that's going off and fulfilling your dream in the early stages of it. I'm just going to use the Whispers deck now to see if we can get any more clarity on that. These are just some theories that I just want to have a look at and see if I can get any positive answers. So tell me about this theory of Jack. Everything's falling apart in my deck here. When that happens, I get the message things were falling apart for him in his life. So tell us more about this theory, please. A secret trip. Why? Why did he not tell anyone where he was going? Why did Jack not tell anyone where he was going? Please give us a very clear answer as to why Jack didn't tell anyone where he was going, please, that night. There's that card again. Exposed, stalked, followed. Right, I'm going to go back to my tarot. I think I'll use a fresh deck. They're telling me to use a full deck here. Why do you keep giving us this exposed, stalked, followed card, please? This Page of Swords again. So that's Jack. Yes, you're telling us that it's Jack. Jack was exposed and stalked and followed. Why? Tell us more. Why? Two opposing forces working together. I feel this is his mind working together, and the King of Pentacles beside it. The King of Pentacles is all about your money and your position in life. There's another card that had turned over there, and that's the Two of Wands, and that's making a planned decision to go down a certain route. Bottom of the deck, being very guarded and defensive about it as well. Okay, that seems quite clear. Got some clarity there. Let's go to the Whispers of the Unsolved again and see if we can get any more on that. We've got two cards flew out there. We've got Change of Plans and War. So that tells us that there's been something going on that has caused him a lot of unrest. And he's had to change his way of thinking, that maybe perhaps the way his life is going. Tell us more. Drama, acting, two faces there. So he wasn't being true to, like what I said at the beginning, he wasn't showing himself to be true as in how he was feeling inside. He was wearing a mask. Can you give me a card, please, to tell us that we're on the right track with this, please? Can you give me a card to tell us that I'm on the right track with this theory, please? A couple of cards turned over there. We have Frozen, Preserved, and it's a young man walking off into the distance. So this tells me this is something that was in the back of his mind. You know, it was a solid moment. It's something that has been with him. It's dead. It was unmovable. And we have contract paperwork. It's like a decision had been made that he couldn't go back on. A bit more, please. Just give us a very clear piece of guidance on this. Thank you. Witness. Why witness? Top secret. Friend. Hotel, motel. Okay, so where are you going with these cards about top secret, friend, hotel, motel? Would it be fair to say that Jack went off with someone, a girlfriend, or someone and went off secretly? Is that fair to say? Yeah, well, we have the Devil, which is a card of passion, and with it coming out with the hotel, motel, that would make sense, complete sense to me. And the Four of Pentacles come out with that, and that's holding back. So not telling anyone. But his mother said that he wasn't sure whether he even wanted to go out that night, so tell us more. Messages going back and forth. Who were the messages to? A Queen of Wands. And that's the card of travel, the world. About going away, going back and forth on a decision with that Two of Swords. And the Eight of Cups, walking away from something that was unfulfilling in life with that Eight of Cups. Is this something that Jack had been thinking of doing for a long time, and just really took the opportunity that night to put his thoughts into action. Would that be fair to say? Would that be fair to say? Page of Pentacles, a whole new beginning. And the Hierophant there. Hierophant is a card of an institution. It's also a card of spirituality. Why am I seeing the Hierophant? Why am I seeing the Hierophant? The Five of Wands. Some turmoil going on in his life. What's the turmoil about? Tell me more about the turmoil, please. What's the turmoil that was going on with Jack, supposedly, please? There's that Nine of Wands again. So it's like he was at his breaking point. That's what the Nine of Wands is about. But you're not giving up yet. It's just the final push to do something. And doing something sneaky with that Seven of Swords. So I'm going to play some footage here from this morning programme. It's a UK magazine programme, and this is Jack's mother being interviewed here.
Straight to there's a problem, or does your mind go, he's probably stayed out a little bit longer, he's bumped into somebody else? Yeah. You know, it seems sort of relatively normal, but you had that hunch, didn't you?
Yes, because Jack had never done that before. You know, if he'd gone out, he would always get home. And if he couldn't get home, he'd have no issue with texting or calling us to say he was stuck.
So at what point do you contact the police?
Well, we initially contacted the police about 7 o'clock in the morning after we'd been out for an hour looking around. And we were told that was not really how to go about a missing person, and to phone back in about 12 hours. But we got to 11 o'clock. And I was frantic, I really was. So we went through a procedure of, you know, a missing persons report on the phone. And then by the mid-afternoon, a policeman had come to the house to take a statement from us.
So tell us about the events then, as best you can, because they did start looking for him, and then obviously you start to look into the CCTV, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, initially, we didn't know what information was out there. We had a phone call later on that night from the police telling us that they had CCTV, which they believed to be Jack. Wasn't confirmed, but they felt very strongly that it was Jack.
I just want to look at these cards again. These are the same cards that come out earlier on. This is the 180 card deck. So they're really trying to tell us something important here. That Jack was in turmoil. He wasn't showing his true face to anybody. There was a change of plans from what he was going to do, maybe perhaps what he had told his parents, and it was set in stone in his mind that this was always a plan of something that he could play out. That's what I'm getting from that. These cards here that I held up earlier, so what they're telling me here is he made a judgment call with that legal proceedings card. You can see the judge on it, and this is faked death, new life. A judgment call to go and find a new life. And with that travel card keeping coming up, you know, it's something that I keep getting all the time, that he's went off and because he needed to go off and just completely get out of his head and not speak to anybody. Emergency, confession, making a deal, and deep state. Again, that deep state card, when I first looked at it there, I just felt that his mind was in a deep state of confusion and worry and anxiety. And with the confession card there, it just made me feel that he can't talk to anybody about how he's feeling. So he made a deal to himself to go and just be on his own and find his way and find his path. And it was really getting to the state of emergency that he felt that he had to do it. Tell us more. I'm just going to play more of the footage here.
Said he was in close proximity to the river, and they had drawn an assumption that he must have fallen in. And they said, based on statistics, they were telling us that 85% of young men on a night out who've been drinking, been clubbing, partying or whatever, and they're in that sort of area, would end up in water. And so they told us they had some image which they believed was Jack. So that's what we sort of had to face, and we were distraught as a family, absolutely distraught. We didn't go to bed, we just sat in disbelief. But it was only the next day when somebody came to the house with a set of keys that had been found, and he was another policeman in charge of the search on the ground, and said, "Oh no."
That's interesting. The power supply, that's what they're telling me, is the lights went out. The power supply, when she talked about water, they give us this water card, but I see a head above water in this card and freedom. So I think the police are trying to, as I said at the beginning of the video, just come to the conclusion that this is what's happened, this young man, and the cards are telling us that. So let's just play some more.
No, you can't take that piece of footage. We don't even know if it's a person, and we're more inclined to think it's the railings.
I think it must be, be racked with, like, uncertainty.
Yeah,
worrying
confusion.
When you get
Yeah, at that point, we just didn't know what to think and what to do. So, we move on. A few days pass, and more CCTV is now being obtained and gathered. And it is now starting to plot Jack's route, the journey that they can see him making. They show us because just to confirm that we are happy that this is Jack now. But for a long time, it only placed him at a certain point. And then many weeks later, because I really requested to see the CCTV myself.
Of course.
And it was a battle, but the police did release it to us. And on that CCTV, I actually found Jack on a different part, walking, sort of heading back into town.
So you found a different sighting than the police had found?
Yes.
Just as a statement, the police, we kept an open mind throughout this investigation. Our inquiries have been led by the evidence. Each scenario relating to what may have happened to Jack has been carefully considered. We remain in weekly contact with the family to update the progress of our investigation. That's Avon and Somerset Police. Where are we now?
Well, we're 151 days since Jack's been home, and we are doing everything in our power to continue looking for him, trying to seek information. We don't have a lot of contact with the police anymore. We have a weekly email correspondence with them. We believe it's still an ongoing investigation, and we are being supported by, we have a private investigator, we have a gentleman called Charlie Hedges, who's a missing persons expert, who's been incredibly kind and supportive in helping us sort of go forward. And we have, from social media, which is not my thing, not my world at all, but we've had so much support. Somebody set up a page and it's escalating, and we are getting offers of help and continued support.
And you're hoping this will jog someone's memory?
Yes. I mean, for me, I can...
So I think the cards were very self-explanatory there as she spoke. Everything about the cameras, the digital evidence was all there. Tunnel underground, it was dark. But the two cards that I would like to clarify is the kidnapped and the cleanup. So I'm just going to use my tarot again and see where we get with that. Why did the kidnapped and the hands tied and clean-up cards come out, please? Please give us a very, very clear explanation in regards to Jack and his disappearance. The Ace of Cups, that's about a new beginning in love. And the Strength card is underneath it. Tell me more. Why are you showing us the Ace of Swords? The Ace of Swords is about communication and truth. And again, all the aces are about new beginnings. 2 new beginning cards there. Tell me more, please. Just give us a very clear picture. Please give us a very clear picture in relation to these 2 aces. There's a card of walking away, again, walking away from mental anguish with that 5 of Wands there. Walking away from fighting with family, that's the family card. Are you telling us that Jack disappeared and that he's okay? Is that fair to say? That he just went off to have some time on his own, or either on his own or with someone? Is that what you're telling us? Because of mental anguish? Is that fair to say? Is that what you're telling us? In the family? Just within his life, his happiness? Is that what you're telling us? Yes. Sun is the big fat yes card. And there's that little page there. The Page of Pentacles, manifesting. The Page of Pentacles is all about manifesting. And the 6 of Pentacles, trying to bring balance into your life. The 8 of Wands, the fastest travelling card in the deck. It's a card of travel as well. There's that 2 of Wands, all about choosing your path and the direction you're going on and setting out on it. And the Knight of Pentacles, this is a planner. The Knight of Pentacles plans what it is that he wants to do for a long time, and it's hidden with that moon. So I'm going to ask a very important question now, and I'm going to ask for the truth in that. Is Jack alive? Is Jack alive? Could you give us, please, a card or cards that give us a very clear answer to the question, is Jack still alive? Well, there's Jack, the Page of Cups. The 7 of Swords, which is the card of sneakiness and strategy at the bottom. The Page of Cups is a cup that he has a lot of bright ideas, and he's in search of love and happiness, and he's quite young. The Page of Cups is young and also quite intuitive as well and sensitive. Okay, in answer to my question, the Hanged Man, looking at things differently. Are you telling us that Jack is alive and that he just went off to take some time alone and look at things differently? Or some time with someone? There's that 9 of Wands again. He's at the end of his tether and he just had to do something. So So are you telling us now that Jack has passed and that he just couldn't go on anymore and ended up in the water by his own means? Is that what you're telling us? Is that fair to say? Please give us a very clear answer on this. Is it fair to say that Jack went into the water and that he's no longer alive? No. These cards are telling me that he's invested in a new beginning and he's trying to find balance in his life. So I just want to finish off with the Whispers of the Unsolved here and see if we can get a nice clear answer as to what happened to Jack. Please tell us what happened to Jack. Embezzlement. Are you telling us that Jack was in some kind of trouble in regards to money? Well, riot is trouble, okay? Science experiment, divorce, breakup, separation, and DNA. I want to clarify those with the tarot. King of Cups, strength, being in your emotions, once more. Heavily burdened, trying to make a choice and being really down the rabbit hole there. Ten of Swords, and that's feeling that things aren't going to get any better. The Ten of Swords is when you have 10 swords in your back. Clarify all that for me, please. Propaganda, fake news. That's telling me that all the theories that are going out there aren't what happened at all. Revenge. Was someone out to get Jack? Was someone out to get Jack? Fraud, cybercrime. Give me a card to tell me that AI artificial intelligence. That tells me someone was watching him. Give me a card to tell me that Jack was in trouble. You have marriage, wedding, ceremony. Was Jack in trouble? Life insurance. Why did you give us these two cards? What's the significance of these two cards? There's a family on this card, and this is a card of family as well. Is Jack in trouble? Something that people don't know about as regards to money that he had been keeping hidden and that he felt a lot of guilt and shame over? Is that what you're telling us? He was keeping it inside. Someone in a box. Give us a very clear yes or no to this, please. Evil, demonic. It was eating him up inside. And he just had to get away with vacation abroad. What else? Hotel, motel. Same card that came out in the beginning. What else, please? affluent, wealthy, upper class, someone getting onto a plane. Let's just open the deck. Oh, card fell out. Feels significant. Drugs, poison. Lies. Witness again, and contract paperwork. I feel this is something to do with money. And with the drugs, poison card, it makes me feel he's got into something that he couldn't get out of. I just didn't see a way out. They just split the deck of con man there. Again, he wasn't showing himself, he was wearing a mask. I think I'll leave it there. I feel that with all these cards that he's alive. With what I've been given here and my gut feeling, it all indicates that things weren't as they seemed with him. He was in some kind of trouble. He went off. He was troubled that night. He didn't really want to go out, and maybe with the alcohol and that, you know, the way your mind starts to really play tricks on you when you have alcohol, and whatever's troubling you, it just seems magnified, and it feels to me like he just went off on one and maybe just got a bit carried away. Private. Yeah, he wasn't telling anybody. Outside, out in the open, he was keeping all this to himself. He was going down the rabbit hole. Military operation. Corruption. Self-sabotage. There's the masks again. That's what it feels like to me. I will come back to this again and have another look, because I really feel for this family, and I just really am so cross at how this case is being hidden in comparison to others, and I don't understand why that happens, because it's so unfair. Everyone deserves justice and truth. So there you go, that's what I've got for you today, and hopefully you'll join me next time. Thank you. Bye.